All right, we are going to learn how to use Google Forms on Google. So I'll start by showing you how we get there. So this is the Google main screen and I'm logged in. So I'll go up here and click on the apps. It probably will not show up here or here, so I'll have to go to even more and scroll to the bottom. Another option is to just type in google.com/forms. Let's see if this loads for me. So Google has all of their apps here that you can use and you can find forms. So this is the home page for Google Forms. Down at the bottom is forms you have made. They also show up in your Google Drive if you're a Google user and use Docs or slides or anything like that. They'll show up in the same spot and you can save them like that. Yeah, so you can organize them however you want, just like any other file holding app. Yeah, they have some templates you can use. So if you're doing something pretty basic, you can use one of these. If it's similar, you can adjust it however you want, or you can make a blank one by clicking here. So I'll do that right now. So this is what looks like when you first open it. So right here we can type the title of our form. So let's just type example form. You can also write a description, just in case they didn't know. So yeah, so that's where we do that. And then we can just add questions from here. So this is my first question. Say, what is a form? And then I can add different things, different answer types. So this, something else. And I can decide what type of question I want to do. So I can do it as a multiple choice. I could do it as checkboxes so they can click more than one thing. If I wanted to do it so they can leave like a paragraph or something, I can do that, short answer. There's all sorts of things you can do. The multiple choice grid is really cool, and I'll show you an example of it later because it didn't really make sense to me, but I made an example, so I'll show you then. You can also add images, you can add videos from YouTube, you can make different sections. You can also make each individual question required or not required. So if you really need someone to answer a certain question, but not so much other ones, you can decide which ones you want required. And then to add another question, you just click here. So are very, very bad questions, but you get the gist. You can also change the theme. You can just pick a color. You can also choose an image. There's several ones that you can do. You can also upload your own. You can do this pretty water droplet situation. Yeah, you can mess around with that, make it pretty. And then while you're working on it, you can preview with the little, here, let me show you what I did again. The little eye right there. That's a preview, and this is so you can see what your viewers or survey takers will be seeing when they get it, and you can make sure that everything is formatted correctly and has the right intentions that you want it to. If we click on settings, there's some more advanced type things. You can have it so it'll ask for their email address at first when they first start. You can make it so everyone can only respond to it one time, stuff like that. Presentation, you can show progress bar, so that'll tell them how much more they have left to complete of it. Shuffle the questions and give them a link to submit another response afterwards. So if it's something that they can take multiple times, they can do that. You can also make it a quiz. So this makes it able to appoint point values to each question, which is really good for school. And you can have it so they get their grade, or you have to look at their grade then, and you can see things like these items. So that's really neat, especially for school. So once I'm done with it and I think it looks great and I want to send it out, I'll click send. I can do it in email or Facebook, Twitter, anything like that. I can decide what I want to be written when they get it. And once again, you can collect email addresses. And you can also do it as a link so that you can just send them the link. Okay, so that's how you do that. I'm going to show a couple examples just so it makes a little bit more sense. So I sent them to myself, so this is what they will be looking like if from the perspective of the person receiving them. So this is one that I filled out as if it was a quiz in school. So I can see my first, oh, well, I noticed one thing I need to improve upon is that the picture is supposed to be with this question, but hey, we all learn new things. So the first question, doesn't really matter what I do right now, but I can go through and answer them. This is for this picture and see how it's a question about the picture, which is nice. This is the grid, so you can make it so you can select multiple or just one from each one, but it's a really neat format for pictures. And you can see that I can see how many points are assigned to each question, which is cool. And at the bottom is our progress bar, so it's only one page, but if it were more, I could see how far it's going. So let's just select random answers for this. Okay, so I submit. This is what I see. So I can go view my score after, and I see how I did, and I see that I got that one wrong, and I got that one wrong also, but that I got the first one right. So that was the quiz. And now I'll show the other one I did was also an example that I think would be pertinent to education, and that's a check for understanding. So the purpose of this is just to see how the students are feeling about their work. So have them enter their name, and then I did rate of their understanding for the various things we've been studying. So if they really understood this one, or maybe they want more help on this one, or they're feeling neutral about that, then they can do that. And then I asked what topics they'd like to see happen in the future, and then if there's anything else I can do to improve their learning. So if they have any suggestions for things that they think might help them do better, they can do that. And then they can submit it. And for this one, since it's not a quiz, it's not view their grade, but they can submit another response if necessary. So there's that. So as far as the other side of things, being the person who gave the quiz, we can go back to our form, and if you just open the form that you made, like in the editing area, you can look at the responses from there. So I go and click over here. So this is a summary, so I can see the point distribution. So how many people, looks like one person got 100%. I took it a couple times so that it would be able to show this data, but looks like one person got 3 and 2 people got 2. So I can see where people are falling as far as their points. And then I can look at the questions. So for this question, 75% of people got it right and 25% got it wrong. And I can look at data like that. Then I can go by question and see exactly what happened with each question that people were answering and what most people got. And then I can go individually by person, so I can see like this, what this person did. So like this person got 100%, and then I can click on my next person, and like a good idea would be to have them have their name on here so you can see how everyone is doing. You can also link it to a spreadsheet, and then you can have your data that way. I think this is really nice because it has all your information right there for you. You don't have to do any of this yourself. You don't have to try to do any math yourself. It's just all right there for you, and you can just see exactly how things are going. And then I'll show you the responses for the check for understanding and how this would look. So I can see, wow, everyone in my class really understands this topic. But then I go to this topic and it's way more diverse. Not everyone's on the same page. And here, we're feeling okay, we feel like we could, catch up a little more. And then if I look here, I can see, wow, everyone in my class really wants to study this, and maybe we can delve into these things also. And then I have under here the things that would help people feel better and learn better, so I can read those and take advice and help my students. And then I can also do this one individually, so I can see how individual students are feeling about their understanding. This one you could do with a name or anonymous, depending on kind of what you want to know. If you want to know specifically which students need help with which things or how they're feeling about themselves, I would put a name on it. But you could also do it anonymous just to see how the class is feeling in general. But that's really nice. So some other ideas I was thinking about for using Google Forms is if you did a lesson and you want just feedback on how the lesson went or how people learned, you could do that. You could figure out demographic information. Perhaps the first day of school, you want to know how many people have pets or just, any information that you want to keep track of. You could do it like this, and then you'd always have it online and you would be able to access it whenever you want. If you were trying to set up a meeting, you could do meeting times and things like that. You could really use it for all sorts of things, especially in education. I think it's a really, really good resource, and I'm happy I now know how to use it. So yeah,